Hi everyone, welcome back to Islam Unboxed. Today I will be talking about how poor Prophet Muhammad was. So many times we have heard our Muslim friends telling us that their Prophet was living a life of poverty. He was poor. He lived a very humble life. Is that true? Is that so? Let's take a look at their claims, or some of them. This is the first one. Let's take a look at number 4 here. Trading with Khadija. By age of 25, he shared a trade with Khadija. Wow, look at the word he chose, or they chose. Shared. At this stage, Prophet became to be one of the wealthiest men in Quraysh. This is a lie. We all know. But now, take a look number 5 here. Marriage with Khadija. Khadija was one of the richest women in Arab. And Prophet had a reasonable income from, look at this, his trading. This was a lie. Actually, her trading. Because she was the employer, she owned the business. Muhammad was the employee. He did not have anything. We all know Muhammad married her when he was 25 and she was 40 years old. I don't know why sometimes people have no shame lying. That's crazy. Anyway, let's take a look at this the second one. This is the truth anyway. The second one is not anything. It's just, yeah, there you go. Take a look at this. In his 20s, Muhammad began working as a merchant and soon married his employer, a rich woman named Khadija. Now, this is the truth. Anyway, let's go next. The next one, the Mili Gazette, Indian Muslims leading news source. Huh, look at the first sentence there. There are many reports that tell us that the Prophet led a life of poverty. See, take a look at this. His poverty was a matter of choice. So they made it sound like he was supposed to be rich, or he could have, you know, but then he chose to live a life of poverty. It's crazy, right? Anyway, if for people who do not know anything, who never read anything, who's not doing any research, when they read something like this, they will see Muhammad was a noble person, was a good guy. Anyway, let us read the next one. Oh, this is even worse. Look at this. Prophet Muhammad lived a life of poverty from the day he was born till the day he died. Never good life, not even one day. Every day poverty till he died. 62 years of poverty. Wow, this is a big lie. Anyway, let's go to the next one. The last one, Arab news. This one, let's read from here. We start from here. Prophet Muhammad steered away from all aspects of affluence. He preferred to live at the same level as the poorest in his community. His wife Aisha mentioned that he never had his fill of food for 3 days, for three consecutive days. So let's say he ate for 2 days and then the third day he could not eat because there was nothing to eat. That's how poor he was. So every one of them telling us he was poor. Well, except the second one, this one here. But this one is not from Muslims. This one is from ushistory.org, by the way. But all of them, these four of them, saying he was living a life of poverty. Let's check if if they're telling the truth. Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 3505. Let me this one is a little long, but bear it with me. Let's read. Narrated Urwa ibn Az-Zubair. Abdullah ibn Az-Zubair was the most beloved person to Aisha, excluding the Prophet and Abu Bakr. And he, in his turn, was the most devoted to her. Aisha used not to withhold the money given to her by Allah. So Allah gave her money. But she used to spend it in charity. Ibn Az-Zubair said Aisha should be stopped from doing so. When Aisha heard this, she said, "Shall I be stopped from doing so? I vow that I will never talk to Abdullah ibn Az-Zubair." On that, Ibn Az-Zubair asked some people from Quraysh, and particularly the two uncles of Allah's messenger, to intercede with her, but she refused. As Zurihun, the uncles of Prophet, including Abdul Rahman al-Aswad, Ibn Abdul Abd Yaqut, and al-Miswar ibn Makrama said to him, "When we asked for the permission to visit her, enter her house along with us." So without her permission. He did accordingly, and she accepted their intercession. So finally, okay, I forgive you, Aisha forgave Azubair, and then everything was fine. And then Azubair, take a look this. Let's continue. He sent her 10 slaves, whom she manumitted as an expiation for not keeping her vow, because she vowed she would not talk to him ever again. And then she broke her vow. So she freed 10 slaves. But the 10 slaves were given by Abdullah ibn Az-Zubair. Now, let's continue. Aisha manumitted more slaves for the same purpose till she manumitted 40 slaves. She said, "I wish I had specified what I would have done in case of not fulfilling my vow when I made the vow, so that I might have done it easily." So here, there are two things that you can see here. Yeah? First, Abdullah ibn Az-Zubair, one of the followers of Muhammad, gave her 10 slaves. So it means Abdullah ibn Az-Zubair had many slaves. If you if if you are poor, you cannot have slaves. Not even one slave. Because if you are poor, you will have hard time feeding yourself. How can you feed your slave? And this guy had 10 slaves, and well, more slaves actually, more than 10. He gave 10 of them to Aisha. And now, secondly, Aisha manumitted or freed 40 slaves. If Aisha, now, as you know, we all know Aisha was the daughter of Abu Bakr. And Abu Bakr was not a rich man. Therefore, Aisha could not be rich. Aisha was married to Muhammad when she was 6 years old, right? So it's not like she had a chance like Khadija, a rich woman from trading. Aisha got slaves from people, and for sure, or some of them came from Muhammad himself. Now, if Muhammad was poor or lived a life of poverty, how could he give slaves? And what kind of poverty is this if you own slaves? Now, for another, for my last proof is Quran itself. Let us read Surah Al-Anfal, Quran chapter 8, verse 41. Let's read. There you go. Know that whatever spoils you take, 1/5 is for Allah and the Messenger. His close relatives, orphans, the poor, the travelers. If you believe in Allah and we revealed to our servant on that decisive day when the two armies met at Badr, and Allah is most capable of everything. So now 1/5 is for Allah and the Messenger. So 20% from the war booty was taken by Muhammad. 20%. So it means Muhammad had more than his followers because he had tens of thousands of followers. When they attacked Makkah, he brought with him 10,000 soldiers. So if 10,000 soldiers get 80% of the war booty, can you imagine? Now one of them is Azubair, who gave 10 slaves to Aisha. So 10,000 soldiers means let, let's let's say every one of them they have 10 slaves, only 10 slaves. So 10,000 means 100,000 slaves. So now definitely Muhammad did not take 20,000 slaves, but Muhammad take the gold, the swords, the money, the porcelain, whatever, camels. And remember the story about the camels stolen by those people who came to Medina, and it was too hot and they got sick. They stole his camels. There you go. He has camels. So this, when people telling you story about how poor Prophet Muhammad was, this was not just a story. This is a myth. The truth is the opposite. He was rich. He was rich. If Aisha could free 40 slaves, then imagine how many slaves did Muhammad have? Well, we can only guess, but we can imagine roughly, even though we don't know the exact numbers. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Something to think about. For those who follow Muhammad, God bless you. For those who follow Jesus, God bless you. Have a nice life.